Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome viewers once again to my channel. For those of you that are regular viewers, most welcome. Those of you that are new, you are also most welcome. But if you're new, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notification of any new videos that I produce. So carrying on with my presentations, today's presentation is going to be dividing by a fraction, and as always the plea is to please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Excuse me, I've still got remnants of a cough, but I'm sure we'll manage to pull through. Okay, so today's lesson about dividing fractions, but first of all need to establish that we all know how to divide and that we all know our times tables. So just a few examples of traditional dividing for you to have a practice at. I'm going to be quiet for 5 seconds and let you write things down or freeze the screen, and I'll reveal the answers. Okay, so we all know that 5 fours make 20, so 20 divided by 4 is 5. 24 divided by 3 is 8. 72 divided by 3 is 24. 108 divided by 9 is 12, and 162 divided by 3 is 54. Okay, so far we've looked at multiplying fractions, which means we multiply the top line and the bottom line, and if the top number is sorry, I dropped my mic then. So if the top number is bigger, then we turn it into a mixed fraction, and of course we always put fractions in the lowest term, so we look at the numerator and denominator and see how much further they can divide. Today we're going to be looking at dividing fractions, and to understand this we need to do a few more examples where we look at whole numbers and dividing them. So starting off with some nice easy ones. 3 divided by a half. I'm going to illustrate this. So what it actually means is how many halves make 3 whole ones. So we have a half there, we have a whole one, so we have 2 halves there, another whole one with 2 halves in it, making 4 in total, and the third one with 2 more, making 6 halves in 3 whole. So the answer to this, 3 divided by a half, is 6. Okay, next one, 5 divided by a half. Again, how many halves make 5 whole ones? So we have 1 whole one there with 2 halves, 2 whole ones making a total of 4, 3 whole ones making a total of 6, 4 whole ones making a total of 8, and 5 whole ones making a total of 10. So 5 divided by a half is 10. Okay, so what do we notice? 3 divided by a half is 6. 5 divided by a half is 10. So we should notice that we multiply by 2, which of course is the denominator. Okay, so we can do this with any other question that we are asked to do halves on. We simply multiply it by 2, so 12 multiplied by 2 is 24, and don't be daunted by the bigger numbers. 55 times 2 is 110. Okay, so we've got another example where the fraction is a different one, but again all we do is multiply it, the denominator, with the whole number, in which case in this one it's 4 times 3. Okay, so what this means is how many thirds there are in 4 whole ones. So try to illustrate again. So there is one whole, excuse me, there is one whole that's been divided into 3. So we have 3/3. There are 2 whole ones, so the total now is 6/3. 3 whole ones making a total of 9/3, and finally 3 more making a total of 12/3. So as I said, 4 divided by a third is 12. Okay, so now we're on to the proper fractions, as I call them. So if you've noticed the others, there is a rule that we follow where where the denominator was multiplied, so in effect it was turned upside down. So what we do is we rewrite, or we leave the first fraction as it is, we change the sign to multiply, and we flip the second fraction so that the denominator becomes the numerator. So leave the first fraction, in this case 2/3, change the sign, and which of course is the opposite of divide is multiply, and finally we flip the second fraction so it becomes 2/1, and then it's a nice easy multiplication. 2 times 2 over 3 times 1, which of course is 4/3. So we have a top heavy fraction, and this means 4 divided by 3, so we have 1 with remainder 1, so 1 whole 1, remainder 1/3. Okay, so another example, 2/11 divided by a fifth. Follow the rule, leave the first one, rewrite it, change the sign to multiplication, and flip the second one. So we have 5 times 2 over 11, which of course is 10/11. There's nothing we can do with that one to simplify it, so that is the answer. It's not a top heavy fraction, nor can it be divided any further, so 10/11 is the answer. Okay, one more example. 4/9 divided by 3/5. So follow the rule, leave the first one, write it again, change the sign to multiplication, and of course flip the third one so that it's 5/3. So 5 times 4 is 20, and 9 times 3 is 27. So that is the final answer, and we leave it at that because it can't be simplified anymore. Okay, so that is the end of the presentation. I hope it wasn't too quick. So we have 10 here for you to try, and I'm going to pause for a while. So do excuse the big division signs. I didn't know how to do that in PowerPoint, so I just exported that sign. So, but I think you can read it easily enough. So if I go through the first one, 4/5 divided by 5/8, and we carry on like that up to number 10, which is of course a worded question. And the other thing you need to bear in mind is to turn the mixed fractions into top heavy fractions, which number 6 is the first of that. So it's 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, it's 5/2, and of course 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12/5, and I'm going to leave you to do the rest of those. And of course a whole number, don't forget, we can write it over 1, so it's 3/1 in number 5, so it's 5/8 divided by 3/1, and then I'm going to leave you to follow the process, as it were. So I have talked a little bit over this, so I'm going to leave it another 3 seconds and then reveal the answers. Okay, so those are the answers to the questions so far, which are taken from old SATS questions, but they could just as easily be 11 plus questions. Okay, so I hope you've got at least 7 or 8 correct, and then you are on track and understanding the topic. So I'll leave it on for another 3 seconds so that you got a chance to freeze this screen if you so wish. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next screen, and this has got the algebra fractions. So they're exactly the same. Remember the rules. So if I do the first one with you, x over 3 divided by 2 over 3. We keep the first one, x over 3, change the sign to multiplication, and the second one becomes 3 over 2. So it's 3 times x, which is 3x over 2 times 3, which is 6. So the answer to the first one is 3x over 6. The other thing that to bear in mind is when we have letters, the answers become, however many powers there are. So a times a is a squared, and a squared times a would be a to the power of 3, or a cubed. And the other thing, we don't have it in these, but if there were as a power fraction, we take the smaller number away from the larger number. For example, if there was a c squared over c, then the answer would be c. Or if it was the other way around, c over c squared, it would be 1 over c. Okay, so I think that brings us to the end. Again, I really want to be I'm trying to cut down on the timings of these, because I think people are saying they're a little bit too long. So just 3 more seconds to look at this, and then I'll move on. Okay, so there are the answers to those 6 questions. So the first one, I should have said that then we can cancel as well. So if it's 3x over 6, then the 3 goes into 6 twice. So we're just left with x and 2 on the bottom. So sorry about that little mistake. Also sorry about the space in B and C, but I think you can make it out. The answer is c squared over 16. And the question was c over 8 times c over 12. C times c is c squared. 8 times 2 is 16. And similarly on the next one, ab times a, we have an a and we have another a, so that's ab. We've nothing to multiply b with, so it's a squared b over 5 times 2, which is 10. Okay, I think the others are straightforward. So hopefully, once again, I hope you have gained from the work that I have done, and all that remains to do is to summarize and then to end the presentation. So we've recapped on multiplications. We've looked at how to do the divides. Don't forget the rule: leave, change, flip. Rewrite the first fraction, change the sign to multiplication, and turn the other fraction upside down. Okay, and we've looked at some examples and looked at algebra as well. Okay, that brings us to the end, so hopefully you've enjoyed and learned something from it. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. I really can't emphasize enough the subscribe aspect. The viewing figures are fine, but the subscription very, very slow. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Ask friends, family to subscribe. Okay, so hopefully things will get better. Look after yourselves, look after others. अपना ख्याल रखना, दूसरों का भी ख्याल रखना, दुआओं में याद रखना. Until the next time, Allah Hafiz, goodbye.